Hello and welcome to the iShine podcast. I am your host, Angela A. Love Lewis, and I'm so excited because I have the most amazing, phenomenal co-authors getting ready to come on. And I wanted to just get on here a moment because we had them last week. We're bringing them back on tonight because we really want you to have the opportunity to meet these amazing co-authors of the anthology, which is the Articles of LYFE. And this is about volume 1. So it is a learned. So each one of the people that I'm getting ready to bring on the screen are amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm telling you, you are going to absolutely love what they bring to the table. So let me go ahead and get them on here. Let's start with Coach Chris, who is the visionary author. Hello, Coach Chris. How are you?
What's up, my lady? How you doing?
Fantastic. Let me bring on Ardith Correa. Ardith.
Hello.
Jamie Maddox.
Jamie.
Jillian Morgan.
Uh-oh. Trouble somewhere.
Carrie Roper.
Hi there.
Kay Rizzle, what's up, girl?
Liz Georges.
Lizzie.
Hello.
Teresa O'Neill.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Teresa.
And then, of course, my sidekick, my bestie, Matthew Santana.
There you go, big man.
Yes. So although it looks like the gang is all here, we are missing one person. We are missing Cedric Edison. And so, Ced, what's up, Ced? I know you were out there, and when you look at it, we know you're going to be getting all kind of support. So we're all super excited. But how is everyone tonight, and how excited are you all on this road to getting bestseller status on the 26th of this month, which is Tuesday?
Yes, fan-damn-tastic.
That's what I'm talking about. Fan-damn-tastic. Yes. Love it. So, Chris, I guess I will kick it off with you and say, what was the catalyst that got you to want to be the visionary author for this project?
Ooh, this started out as a solo project. It was a lying in bed project. But once I met these phenomenal ladies and met Ced, the book is bigger than me, and it would not be complete without everyone else being in here. And this is like the Justice League. Everybody in here is a superhero, has the same superpower. The only difference is we wear different costumes and we do it a different way. Everyone here is changing lives, and that's what we do. And so just putting everybody together, the book is going to automatically be way more successful than it would have been just as my project.
Awesome. And I do definitely believe in collaborations and bringing people together, because what you can do by yourself is powerful, but what you can do with other people can be blown out of the stratosphere. It brings so many people together from different places. And so I think for Matthew and I, we really love bringing in anthologies because it gives us an opportunity to let you see what it looks like to leverage other people's platforms. So Matthew, what do you have to say in regards to what's happened so far with the Articles of LYFE?
The Articles of LYFE. This book was totally amazing. Just rereading it and reading everybody's stories. Each person had their own unique story, their own trials, their own tribulations that they've been through. You know, those hurt and those pains, and they had to sacrifice in order to get to where they are now. And all of these stories just combined just makes the whole book, the whole project phenomenal, because now everybody is sharing a piece of their life that they wouldn't have done on their own. So bringing everybody together gave everybody the opportunity to share their story and network with somebody that they wouldn't have networked if they wouldn't have reached out and accepted it.
Terminated. middle of the
Right.
broadcast.
I felt like I was in church. Wasn't me.
I know I was going to say this. I didn't do it. That's why it's such a good thing to be live. And I'm telling you,
Right.
to have people who are such great sports. Because you know, we are working with a room full of coaches, and each one of them already knows what it's like to do this. So first, let's go back to Chris, because I know that for some people, if you all are looking, and let me get this on the bottom of the screen so you can see, because Articles of Life, life is actually spelled out LYFE. If you can give a little background as to what that represents before we get into meeting these ladies.
All right. Keeping it short and sweet. Used to be a coach, and I found out during coaching that I wasn't doing enough. I left that job right before the pandemic. And what was put on my heart was this here: landscape your future every day, LYFE. And it just really symbolizes the fact that every decision you make or don't make is going to landscape your life. And then the real estate part is going to be your mindset. Your mindset is going to be the real estate of your existence. And just like a yard, just like a property of a business or a company, you can landscape that, but you just need a vision, and then you need the steps and the know-how to get there. And with this book, I know that artist, she's a teacher, so hers is going to be very regimented. She's going to show you steps in hers. You're going to get shown how to get where you need to get to with each individual coach in this book.
Love it, love it, love it. So let's go ahead and get started and meet some of these amazing people. So, Ardith, if you would let everyone know, who do you serve? What do you do, and who do you serve?
Sorry, did you just say my name?
I did, Ardith, yes.
Okay, I apologize. There's a bit of delay over here in Canada. So who do I serve? Well, I serve moms who are raising neurodiverse children. I personally have a son who has hyperactive ADHD. I've also learned that he is gifted in his visual and spatial skills, and he has a potential learning disability. And so when it comes to helping out moms who are raising neurodiverse children, their children might have ADHD, autism, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, oppositional defiance disorder, ODD, learning disability. So there are a lot of mothers out there who need lots of support so that they feel calmer and happier and more relaxed raising their children, and need tools and strategies for that. So that's what I do.
Amazing. And I think it's really great that you're a part of this book, because I know that it's such a big thing right now where people are dealing with children, whether they're on the autism spectrum, whether they have ADHD, whether they have anything in between. And a lot of times people don't know the questions to ask, when they go to doctors. And sometimes it's just fear, and trying to figure out, how do I raise a child to be happy, healthy, and whole? And how do I do that, even with some of the things I'm experiencing as a mom? And so I love that you were able to bring that information to the chapter and really kind of share, some things about just life, and give them the title of your chapter, as a matter of fact.
Thank you. The title of my chapter is called A Snapshot of my Life as a Curriculum.
Yes, as a curriculum. So that means, listen, lessons learned, right, from all this life.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So Miss Jamie, I want you to let everybody know who you
You're
are
welcome.
and tell us who you are, who you serve as coach.
So hi, everyone, and thank you for having us, Angela and Matthew. My name is Jamie. I'm a health coach, a life coach. I also teach yoga and meditation. I service mostly middle-aged people. I say mostly because I just took on a client yesterday who's 32, and I took on a client the other day who's 65. And so, but mostly the people I work with have lost themselves caring for others. Stay-at-home moms, busy working parents, caregivers, the parents who are about to be empty nesters. I help people figure out their purpose and live their best life for the rest of their life. I'm not sure that I answered you. I have a tendency to do that.
But that's fine though, because I wanted you all to kind of give this information because the book is getting ready to be launched out. We're doing a bestseller campaign next Tuesday, the 26th of July. And I want people to understand who is in this book, who is writing, what are these lessons learned, and where are they coming from. And when they know who you serve now, the type of people that you serve, now they can tap in because they want to see what your chapter is going to be about. How can me reading this, how can your life lessons help me? Based on what you've said. And so by putting it out there, if I was someone who maybe has struggled with, some type of illness, and I know you go into talking about, the things that you dealt with, even being a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, I may want to read this now because I want to know if she was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, now she's an author. How did you do that? And so if you would share your title of your chapter, I think that will help as well.
Absolutely. If I can, so can you.
And I love that. That's so powerful because, Chris, one of the things you put in your chapter was that sometimes people feel like they're on an island. And a lot of times you have to realize you're not by yourself. If you would just understand that maybe you just need to walk around a little bit and see that on the other side of the island, guess what? Whole community full of people who are going through what you go through. But because we isolate ourselves, we tend to think that it's all just us, and we put a lot of weight and pressure on ourselves and get overwhelmed and experience anxiety and depression and things like that, when there's people out here who understand, and all you have to do is reach out. So I love that this book really talks about, again, the articles of life. So Jillian, come on from down under and tell us who you are and who you serve, please.
Hi, my name's Jillian. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a spiritual healer. I'm a coach. I have lots of certifications, and I help people, particularly spiritual creatives, bring out their creativity and create a life they love from wherever they are. So they might be stuck. They might not know their purpose. I can help them find their purpose and stand in their power and be the powerful creators of their reality that we all are.
Amazing. I'm telling you, prior to getting on, Jamie and I were, talking to Jillian, and she was just saying how sometimes when people talk about spirituality and they talk about, getting into things that will help them to define their purpose, it gets overwhelming, But one thing about you, when they tap into your chapter, they're going to see that you've provided some step-by-step things that can help them to figure out who they are and how they can move forward in life in a better way. So will you share what your title of your chapter is?
7 Spiritual Steps to an Invincible You.
Yes, and we all want to be, y'all know I'm the queen of empowerment. So that in essence is being invincible. As Chris said on the last broadcast, I believe, being a badass. That's what it's all about, is being invincible and embracing who you are and walking out your purpose so that you can live the best life possible. So one of the things, and I'm kind of glad of how it's set up, because if Jillian can give you the steps on how to become invincible, Carrie, right next to her, is able to give you some things that you can do to help you health-wise and body-wise. So Carrie, if you could share a little bit about who you serve, what your chapter is about.
Thank you, Angela. It's a pleasure being on with you. The name of my chapter is Heal Your Body, 3 Steps to Peak Nutritional Health. And so I focus on nutrition and helping women avoid chronic diseases. My clients are older women who are kind of disheartened with their bodies and experiencing low energy. They feel overwhelmed and tired and probably frustrated. most of them are already have some kind of diagnosis and probably are taking pharmaceuticals and, chronic disease, some, pre-diabetic, hypertension, heart disease, may or may not be overweight, because you can still be really unhealthy and be normal weight. So I concentrate on trying to avoid those chronic diseases. I have a strong family history of diabetes, and I didn't want to go there.
What I love about how great this is now is because we're in a time where so many things are going on in the world when it comes to food. When you start talking about people having gluten allergies, people having, issues with just eating different things. And sometimes, when you go back to the original food pyramid, y'all know when we were kids, they were trying to tell us, all the different things you're supposed to eat. Well, now, read Carrie's chapter. I'm telling you, you need to tap in to see what she said about this. I'm setting up for Carrie because they need to really understand that everything that you've been told may not necessarily be what's right for you right now. And so
that food pyramid is really ridiculous. So, ignore that.
Kick it out the way because it may not be working for you now. Right. Exactly. And I love it because
a lot of what I do,
this is really just great information.
Sorry, I was talking over you. I apologize. My program involves movement and stress reduction and sleep and mindfulness, like Chris said. And we all know that diets don't work. So there's a lot of what's called intuitive eating that I teach. So.
Awesome. Intuitive eating. I'm telling you guys, make sure you tap in and connect, because this is going to be really powerful. Each one of them have really talked about lessons they've learned based on what they went through in life. And, they always say that what you go through is not always for you. Now, I'm laughing at how we set up, because earlier Jamie had made an observation of how everyone was lined up according to certain things. Well, at the bottom, the last two ladies are talking about their journey as being mothers. So Liz, come on and share a little bit about your chapter and tell us about who you serve as well. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Thank you. Oops. I'll start with who I serve. I serve stressed out, stuck, frustrated, exhausted women over 40 who don't even recognize themselves anymore. I help them restore function at the cellular level so they can lose weight easily and have the energy to do the things that they want to do with their lives. And it helps them receive the clarity to be able to move forward. This is exactly who I was, completely stuck after having spent the entirety of my life, from birth until the age of 45, just from in one stressful situation to the next. I wrote my chapter about becoming pregnant at 19 by a man that I found out before I knew I was pregnant was married, and all the trauma and emotion that I went through throughout the pregnancy and my motherhood journey. And even fast forward a few years to some deeper places that I had to explore. So my chapter can really resonate with a lot of women who've been in some tough places, not maybe just with becoming a mother unexpectedly, but also being in a tight spot financially, being in bad relationships, and just realizing that you can pull yourself out of anything if you just have the faith in yourself, and maybe once in a while suck up your pride and ask for help.
There is powerful all by yourself. Suck up your pride and ask for help. And y'all know, men, y'all are hard-headed, but women, it's hard for us to ask for help. We, tend to, we can do everything. So we put a lot of, hats on, and we do a lot. And it's nothing wrong with asking for help. So I'm so glad you shared that, Liz. Now let's move on to Miss Teresa. How are you? Please share what you do and the name of your chapter, and who do you serve?
Well, I'm great, thank you, and thank you for having me. Teresa O'Neill. I'm a health coach and a life coach. As far as who I serve, number one, and this is very new for me, but I serve myself. I've learned to do that in the last couple of years. And
Yeah.
Good, awesome.
I have learned in order for me to serve others, I need to serve myself first. And I need to be well first. So
Yes.
that's number one. And then once I'm well, I work with women or people. I've worked with men too, but mostly women who struggle with body image and self-esteem issues as pertaining to weight. There's a lot of social media and idealized body images and stuff out there, and I think it's really taken a toll on how we view ourselves. And we're also kind of told through social media how we should be viewing ourselves. So I work with people so when they look in the mirror, they love themselves, no matter what size, shape they are. You're going to learn how to love yourself and serve yourself first. I'm also transitioning into working with women or people who are in or have been in toxic relationship. So a little secret about me, I've learned over the years that the most toxic relationship I've been in is with myself. Because it's all in our own mindset, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we allow ourselves to be treated. So we're putting that out there into the world and saying, you can do this to me. Anybody can do this to me. And we believe that that's just how we're supposed to be treated. And that's, you know, kind of what we deserve. But that isn't the truth. And so I'm trying to work with people to, you know, get out of that, change their mindset and learn how to demand respect and be treated the way they want to be treated. So,
Amen.
Absolutely powerful. I love it. Let's see. We got some comments. Let's see. Elian says, awesome. I need to be well first. But she said, I always say that you should be able to stand in a mirror in your birthday suit and say, I love me. That's so good. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. And I really love that, Teresa, because for a lot of people, it is very hard. And when you think about toxic relationships, we're looking at other people, but it starts with us. And I think one of you have put something in your chapter about, you know, just thinking. And when we do it to ourselves, when we have the self-limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, all of those things can cause us to project out in the world how we feel about ourselves. And then we wonder why we're in certain situations or why we stay in places that no longer serve us. So I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad that that's the route you went in answering that question, because I think a lot of people need to understand that they have to love themselves first in order to be free to experience life to its fullest. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Can I just say,
come on, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that the chapter has nothing to do with any of that.
True,
just wanted to put that out there.
But I'm glad you put it out there.
Pardon me?
I said, I'm glad you put it out there, though, because they needed to hear that.
Yeah.
So this is so awesome. I tell you guys, and I think y'all, as you can tell, we probably have a little delay on some different places. So just bear with us because the information is definitely worth hearing. So Coach Chris, I want to come back to you because right in this chapter that you put in the book, how did it affect you? How did it inspire you to do? Did you feel great? Did it challenge you? Was it a stress and struggle? How was it for you?
Oh, kind of like life. I'm a firm believer life happens for you, not to you. And when the waves hit my ship, I go with the current most times. And I didn't write this book. I lived this book. And so Over the years, I've collected these things that people have called criticisms. I have a saying, a catchy phrase for everything. And I got to actually relate those criticisms to my life. And then actually speaking to each and every woman that's on here, every coach that is on here, everybody I've coached, I actually got to tailor the message to them. And my chapter is called A Message in a Bottle. And each individual coach in this book is sending a message in a bottle, return to sender, pretty much saying that, hey, I got your message. Here's some advice on how to survive your situation. And that was my inspiration for the chapter I wrote, was to kind of make sure I got everybody wrapped up in a sausage with the chapter that I did. And so everyone out there who thinks they're alone, they're stranded, they're stuck, they're dealing with abandonment, they're dealing with trauma, they're dealing with toxicity in a relationship, what have you, this book is going to send a message back to you. This book is for men. However, the exclamation point on this book is for women. I got to say that men will get a lot out of this book. So get the book. But there's an exclamation point for women. Everybody in here has a major focus on women. And for me personally, it's personal for me. Much like Ardith, I have a granddaughter who is on the spectrum. Of course, I have women in my life. And I've noticed that women, especially when they're mothers, they never get a day off. They always are mom. And so I have a program called Mothers Helping Mothers. And once again, much like Liz, much like Jamie, much like Ardith, everybody is focused on helping you put yourself first. And this book will make sure that you are the foundation of your life and that you refill your cup, let it runneth over, and let people sip off what runs over versus pouring everything out.
I love it. I love it. I see Elian put what you say. I didn't write this book. I lived this book, and some good nuggets. Message in the bottle, return to sender. How powerful. Very much so in reading it. And that's why I really believe that this book in specific will be one that will bless you over and over again, because there's so many nuances to what everyone is reading. Even in Chris's chapter, he has multiple, it's messages in a bottle, and he defines that, but then he comes back to different criticisms that kind of helps you throughout life. And so for each chapter that the ladies wrote, they came in to speak about things that I think we all can take nuggets from that will help you in your life based on what they learned. So Ardith, I'm going to skip the question about how did you feel, but I want to know, based on the lessons that you've learned in your life, what advice would you give someone to help them?
My advice would be that you're not alone. Even when you feel alone and you have those thoughts that you're alone, those are just thoughts. There's always somebody out there that can help you if you're willing to receive that help. But don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Just voice what it is that you need. You will find a person that will help you.
That's good. That's good. I think for a lot of times people are afraid to ask. Again, like you said earlier, you need to ask for help. And there's people out there who are willing and ready and able. All you have to do, and yes, somebody just came and said, Gail, yes, that's very important. Knowing and asking, and then accepting, because sometimes, people will give us a lifeline and we don't want to accept it, even though we know we need it. So it's just the beauty of things. And let me add Chris back in here. Yes, Ellen, you are not alone. So thank you for sharing it, Ardith. Jamie, I want to know, based on the lessons that you've learned, what advice would you give someone to help them along the way?
Okay, so I think I have to go with two tonight, and I think we often don't know when we're in the middle of something. We can't even find the light. Like when we're in the middle of whatever it is we're going through that is hard or painful or stressful or traumatic or whatever. We can't actually see the gifts when we're in it, but there are lessons. And some of my biggest lessons have come from finding myself like face down, Like, how many times do you have to face plant before you're going to stop doing the same thing that gets you the same result? So you really do have to be willing to be bad at things. You have to be willing to, to fail and get the lessons and get on down the road. I have to share Sed's, because, Sed and I have worked pretty closely together for quite a few months now. And I guess in his honor, with him not being here tonight, do it afraid. Whatever that thing is that scares the shit out of you, do it afraid. Like, don't let the fear stop you. Just go forward with your fears. So whatever it is you want to do, you want to write a book, write your book. Do you want to become a coach? Become a coach. Do you just want to get stuck in your life? Find the help you need. So don't be afraid of failure. You have to be willing to be bad, and do it afraid.
I love it. I love it. And yes, do it afraid. There's something else says another quote he says all the time, is something about doing it in perfection or not. What is it, y'all?
Good enough and done is better than perfect and pending.
Yep.
Say it one more time.
Good enough and done is better than perfect and pending.
Hey, that is a whole word.
It's ingrained in our heads. Trust me.
I figured that y'all would know it. Listen, but it's such a powerful thing, because, like you say, James, sometimes people are afraid to make a move and they overthink. So do you know how many people have wanted to write a book and they're still thinking, and they've got a zillion notebooks full of things? Like Chris said, I didn't write the book, I lived it. You've lived life and you put it out there and it's been on your bucket list, and before you know it, you get to a place where you're just so afraid that you never take that step. And even if you fall flat on your face, at least you can say you did it. But what if you don't fall flat on your face? What if you go out here, jump off the cliff, and you soar? You'll never know if you don't do it. So yes, Ellen, good and nothing done is better than perfect and pending. That should be something for everybody, a model that we live by, because so many of us want perfection. Well, we're never going to get it. You're never going to be perfect. It's always going to be work that can be done, because if not, if you don't evolve, you're staying stagnant and there's no growth there. So Liz, come on and tell me a little bit about the lesson that you learned. What can you give? What advice would you give someone else to help them based off of the lesson that you learned? You on mute?
Because it's loud in my house and I don't want you to hear that. We're all stronger than we think we are. We all go through those dark periods where we think, how in the world am I going to get through this? And we do. We always do. So even if you're young and dumb and think you can't get through something, you really can. And if you're old and dumb and think you can't get through something, think about everything you've been through in your entire life that's gotten you to where you are right now, and you've gotten through it. So we all have strength inside of us that we never knew that we had until we're called upon to use it.
Liz, that was good right there, because young and dumb can still get things done, but old and dumb, think about what you've done to get there. And I think it's perfect, because we all think as young people, we just go ahead and just do foolishness, right? And sometimes, if y'all have ever been in network marketing, sometimes they tell you it's ignorance on fire. You're just full of life and you want to experience things, but it's okay, because that's how you learn. Like Jamie said, you have to sometimes fail in order to find out what works for you. So I love that. But for the older people, the more seasoned, let's say that, and mature people, you have to realize that you didn't get to where you are not accomplishing anything. And the fact that you're still living means that you can still go out here and do something. So I think, yes, understand and appreciate that we all have some strength. And somebody said, I believe, Gail, it's always the hard stuff that makes us stronger. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So Miss Carrie, what do you want to say about the lessons that you've learned? What could you give to someone else for advice?
I think for me, it would be to live intentionally. Um, I've learned, over the I'm 63, so I've had a wonderful long life, and to 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 live with intention, deliberately doing things to be healthy, whether it's the mindfulness stuff or whether it's in your eating or in your exercise, whatever it is. And it's consistency over time that makes you healthy, not one day or one meal or one vacation. So it's if I choose to eat that piece of cheesecake, I eat it, but I do it intentionally. And most of the time, after living a healthy lifestyle for 15 years, I don't go for the donut because I know it won't make me feel good, right? So but I am I am intentional with my sleep. I prioritize my health, and it's made all the difference. On my website, there's a quote that I really like, by Aristotle, and I'll read it to you. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny.
Love it.
Oh, powerful. Read that last one, the last one part of that, Carrie.
Choice, not chance, determines your destiny.
Y'all doing good tonight. Y'all dropping these good nuggets. I love that. That's a great one by Aristotle. And I think Elliot, the consistency over time makes you healthy. Now that's good. And I think so many people get caught up and get off track with because they chose a cheesecake. Now you might as well just go ahead and be on the binge and just go crazy, right? And but it's okay to do it on moderation,
It is.
but at the same time, you've got to stay consistent with everything else. The one time is not something to knock you off track. It's to enjoy it for what it is and then get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And the consistency is what keeps you staying healthy and staying feeling good. Because like you said, if you overindulge in the donuts, well, we all know that after a while, if your stomach starts hurting or your blood sugar goes up, or, you have high blood pressure, the things that contribute to that. And the more that you indulge in, the worse you feel, the less productive you can be, which takes you off course of your purpose, right? So it's about really being intentional about what you do. Yes. So thank you so much, Carrie, for sharing that. Miss Jillian, tell us about what advice would you give someone based off of the lessons you've learned in life?
Well, I learned that we create obstacles for ourselves to get us back on track to our purpose. And I think of the final reminder as a bus. So my number one piece of advice would be to follow the golden rule and always be true to you, no matter what. Know who you are, love that person, integrate everything for wholeness, and be true to who you are, because as soon as you're not true to you, you're out of alignment, and that's when you can find that bus. So definitely be true to you always. You're the only person that's got to live with you. Everyone else can come in and out of your life as they please. They can walk away. You have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and know, I love me. I'm perfect the way I am. My behavior may not always be perfect. However, I am perfect. And I love me. And when you can do that and live true to yourself, those obstacles are minimized. And you can begin to move from the problem solution paradigm into the structure of creation and actually live the life you love. Whatever that is for you.
Amazing. I love that, Jillian. And I love how you set everything up, because sometimes people don't know what they don't know. And at the end of the day, it starts with you. And once you can love yourself enough to start wanting what's best for you, now you can get on the path of being able to do for someone else. And so I cannot wait for you all to tap in, because each lady's chapter is so powerful in and of itself. They are giving you tips, tools, strategies, their lessons learned just from life, period. And the crazy thing about it is no chapter is alike. So how it's set up is even different. And so I think it's just amazing. And I want you all to be prepared, because on next Tuesday, July the 26th, we are launching the Amazon bestseller campaign. So for $2.99, you can download the ebook, and you are going to be able to tap into what these ladies and two gentlemen have come together to share with you. Again, it's a collection of lessons learned. So Teresa, for you, the lesson learned, what is the advice you're going to give someone based off of reading your chapter?
Well, first, I've realized I never spoke about my chapter so quickly. The title of my chapter is, Did You Just Call Me Geriatric? Essentially, it's about my journey becoming a mother in my later 30s. So I'm not going to give too much away, but that's essentially what my chapter's about. And the biggest lesson, I think, would be you'll never get what you want unless you do something. So we can think every single day, I want this, I want this, I want this. I wish, if only. But that'll never happen unless you do something. And to piggyback on said, do it afraid. Because most of the time we never do anything because we're afraid. But we'll never get what we want. So do something and make it happen. And if you need to ask for help or ask for anything, also just ask. You'll never get what you want unless you ask for it. And that might even be asking yourself for permission, or yourself to let go of fear or whatever you need to let go of. But do something.
That's great. That's great, Teresa. And I love that you shared that, because I see Eliane has put, I know from personal experience how that feels, geriatric. And, you know, for women in their 30s, and y'all know it's even women who are 50 having children. And sometimes when you get to a certain age, you know, they always are saying, you know, your biological clock is ticking, and it makes some people feel like they have to start having babies, maybe even when they're not ready for it. And so I love your story, and I love how you brought that in. And I know it's going to resonate for a lot of women, because y'all just, you know, let's be honest, for Liz, when you said having your child, how old were you? And you're on mute, so I can just let you know to take it off.
I had him on my 20 and a half birthday. So I was 20 when he was born.
Right. So you take Liz, or people who may have children early, versus someone who may have their children at 35 or later. A lot of times in your 20s, you're trying to get your job. You're trying to figure out life. You're trying to get a career, or figure out what do you like. You're on this job and you're like, I don't really like that. Let me figure it out. And it's not until later in your life, when a career pops up, that you really kind of figure out your niche and what you love. Well, if you get pregnant at that time, now you're trying to figure out, like, I just figured out what I want to do, and now I'm becoming a mom. So it's so many variables in between those two areas. And for a lot of women, we sometimes feel like we have to choose, you know, being a mom and having a career. Can you have it all? You know, and so I'm loving that each one of you has different perspectives about life and lessons learned, whether it is being a mom in your 20s, whether it's being geriatric, so to speak, in your 30s, whether it is talking about living a healthy life or spiritually getting in tuned, whether it's talking about, if I can do it, so can you, because I've dealt with challenges health-wise, or whether artist is what, hey, I've got a child and I've got issues that my child is dealing with. And so coming from a space of where I've had autoimmune issues, trying to figure out myself and what I need to do and help my child as well. There's not a single thing in here. And then I go on to Chris, who's talking about messages in a bottle and criticisms that apply to your life in so many ways. And it helps you to look at the big grand picture, not just a little, because y'all know when you're in a frame, they say you can't really see the forest for the trees. Well, you can't see the frame if you're inside the picture. Well, you've got to be able to look at something bigger and understand that there's so much more out here in life for each and every one of us, but we've got to step out of ourselves. And if you don't take care of your body, if you don't take care of your mind, if you don't honor the children that you brought into this world, if you don't recognize that you have a purpose, but you also have a passion, if you can't put all that together, then your life is just existing. And we want to make sure that in the lessons you've learned, that you can go out here and thrive. You can go out here and bust it wide open. Chris, I know you got a criticism for that. What is that?
Bust it wide open. Not for busted wide open, but
not that one.
I have a criticism for everything, but I do want to say that Ardith hasn't gone yet. Just, I'm not sure if you, but shit is shitty until you use it as fertilizer. That's something I throw down for everything. Shit is gonna be shitty until you repurpose it and use it for what it is you want. Life is gonna throw it at you, and it's just like saying take lemons and make lemon meringue pie, make lemon chicken. You make something with whatever's given to you. Stop bitching and griping about it. It is useful. You just got to be resourceful, and that's what life is all about. And that's like one of my superpowers is being resourceful. I've never been given anything, and it's all about, using what has been put into your life. And you'll be totally surprised at what you can cook when you just go into the kitchen, pull out them damn ingredients, and start making something. If it don't taste good, it still might be healthy. Eat it anyway.
Because Carrie said on the broadcast last night, they used to tell her she was eating cardboard, but Carrie says healthy, baby, so don't worry about it. It's good for me.
Hey, when you see the results, it tastes that much better.
It tastes that much better. Yes. And you know what? That's in life, period. Sometimes you have to make, again, choices. And when you talk about choices, you have to think that maybe I'm not one that wants to drive a fancy car, but maybe I have the money to go on vacations and do other things because I made the choice not to invest that way. It's so many different things that we do. And I'm going to just go back to the phrase in case y'all missed it. Shit is shitty until you can use it for fertilizer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's repurposing. It's really looking at things from a different perspective, and all comes in the mindset. Ardith, come on and share with us some things that you would want to share with someone based on the lessons that you've learned.
Oh, well, I'll say that I already did this, but
I thought Chris said
what
you
I
did,
would
but
say is that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Be ashamed to ask for help.
Thank you.
There's
So
someone that will be able that can help you, and you might have to do it multiple times. Speaking from experience.
That's good. It may have to be multiple times, but don't be afraid. Still go out and do what needs to be done. So, Matthew, what do you want to say about all of this good conversation we've had?
I'm lost for words. I am lost
Not
for
you.
words.
He can speak.
I'm lost for words.
Thank you.
So,
Tanya Bird said, closed mouths don't get fed.
Go ahead now.
That's old school there. That's old school.
Oh, yeah. Y'all go ahead and live your life. You only get one life. Go ahead and live it for you. And don't live it for nobody else. Life is only for a moment. Go ahead and live your life and do what you have to do for yourself. Don't wait on nobody to, I'm going to do this with you. No, go ahead and do it by yourself, because they ain't going to do nothing but hold you down. Believe in yourself and know that you can do it. Look in the mirror and show yourself that you can make it. Don't wait on nobody else to help you. Because when you start to do stuff for yourself and believe in yourself, it's going to take you far. It's okay to network with people and partner with people, but at the end of the day, it's still going to just be you. So believe in you. Keep encouraging yourself. It's okay to look at your neighbor, tell your neighbor, okay, you can do this with me. But at the end of the day, if they do better than you, don't hate them, don't talk about them, just keep on lifting them up because they're going to bring you right along with them because you help them. Life is it does get hard, and people don't believe that they can do certain things because a lot of people have told them that they can't. But I'm here to tell you that you can, because I have a story, you have a story. So once you start telling that story, it's going to open a lot of doors for you, because a lot of people are afraid to tell their story. Because I'm not what I've been through. You're not what you've been through. Leave the past in the past and keep on going. Drop those bags off and catch that flight and get out of there. Because you're not that hurt person no more. You're not living in that trauma anymore. That old you does not exist, because the new you is outshining the old you. So when somebody say, "Oh, you changed," tell them, "Yes, I have." I almost cursed. Ooh, never mind. Keep on going. All right. So y'all go ahead and live y'all life for you. Don't let nobody else live it for you. Believe in yourself and know that you can, because life is only for a moment.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Matthew. So we're about to wrap it up. So I want to go ahead and give everybody an opportunity to number one, let us know what's next for you. Now that you're an author, what's next? And then let people know how they can connect with you. So I'm going to start with you, Artist.
What's next? What do you mean, what's next? Can you tell me?
Well, now that you're an author, what do you have on the horizon? Yes. So what is your next project, or what do you have, or what do you want to, whatever you want to leave the people with, and how they can get in contact with you as well?
I have been dreaming of writing another book solely for moms who are raising neurodiverse children, to give them tips and tools and strategies. That is something that I get very excited about. And what was your next question? I apologize.
That's okay. I know it's a slight
delay.
and
how can people reach me?
Yes.
Well, I have a Facebook. Okay. I have a Facebook business page called Ardith Correa Coaching. I have an Instagram account called Ardith Correa Coaching. And I'm actually on TikTok quite a bit these days. I'm sharing tips and tips and tools for moms. Yeah. And that's called Ardith Correa Coaching as well. And I have a private Facebook group for moms that are raising neurodiverse children that are looking for some support, and that's called Unlocking Your Potential.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love the TikTok thing. I got to get into it. It's great. So thank you. All right, Miss Jamie. So now that you are a author about to be published and hopefully a bestseller, what's next for you?
So I'm going to continue to work with clients and teach yoga and grow my coaching business, New Soul Rising. I'm also going to write another book. I've already started to write another book. I had to press pause and say, finish book 1 before you go to book 2. So yeah, I'm going to keep, yes, I'm going to keep growing my business and writing. And you can reach me everywhere you want to find me. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything is at New Soul Rising.
Awesome. I love that, New Soul Rising. Thank you so much, Jamie. Jillian, what is next for you, ma'am? And how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, well, I'm currently having my children's book illustrated so I can publish that. I continue to live my purpose every day by being true to who I am, and helping others reach their full their full potential. So I continue to work with people, which is my purpose for being here, and I love. I'm also planning on writing my own book with my full story, because I only shared a small part of it, because some people find my whole story a little overwhelming. There's a lot there. So I would like to get my full story out there so people can see the obstacles that I have overcome, and that I truly live in alignment with my soul purpose. I live what I teach. I don't just teach it, and it's not like it's something I haven't done. I literally live it every single day. The outside world, 99% of the time, has no effect on me, because I'm confident and I love who I am. I've integrated everything for wholeness. Every part of me I love. And so the outside just doesn't come in most of the time. And I just continue to be true to myself, and I constantly create. I create what I want, and I'm constantly doing that. So I will keep creating from my soul rather than from my conditioning, as we all can.
Nice.
Awesome. How can they get in contact with you, Jillian?
I'm on Facebook, Jillian Morgan, or Jillian Kindly. Jillian Kindly is my business. I'm on LinkedIn. I think that might be Jillian Kindly. My website I've pulled down at the moment, but that will be up and running again soon, because I've changed some of the things I do. So working on that, and that will be jilliankindly.com when it's up again.
Awesome.
And I'm very approachable, so reach out, just send me a message saying who you are, so I don't think you're someone hitting on me or something like that.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Jillian says she is confident, honey, so it's going to be something. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Carrie, can you please let us know what you have next going on for you, and then how can people get in contact with you?
Thank you. Let's see. So I'm going to be teaching some courses at the local community college this fall. Haven't figured out exactly what yet. I've got some proposals and we're supposed to have a meeting coming up within a couple of weeks. So that's exciting. I'd like to keep coaching clients, and I'd like to do more speaking. So I'm reaching out to some people about doing some speaking to some larger groups, and I'm looking forward to that. People can reach me. Probably the best way is on my website, Health Coach Carrie, KARI.com. The name of my business is Nourishment Network, and I am not on Facebook a lot, but you can find me under Carrie Roper. So I love to meet anyone out there that wants to talk about nutrition.
Awesome. I love Nourishment Network. I think that's such an awesome name. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Miss Liz, you are up next.
Yes. Hi. So next up for me, well, I'm growing my coaching business, Vibrant Soul Coaching. I'm a health and life coach, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. So that's really starting to get moving a lot more. I also plan to write more books. About 20 years ago, I had an idea for a coffee table book. And 17 years ago, I had an idea for another one. And a couple days ago, it occurred to me that all of a sudden now I know how to make these happen. So one is going to be a collaboration, and I'm actually, I've got huge ideas for it. I'm really excited for those new books. And I have so many more stories to tell. So I am actually president of my Toastmasters Club, newly elected. We have speech competitions coming up, and I'm now starting to put together ideas for different stories I can tell, and just really get involved in speaking. And lastly, I'm going to start reaching out to different organizations so I can start working with some high school children and start sharing my story with people at that age, because that's probably when I needed me more. then I need me now. Like I needed someone like me when I was 15, 16, 17, kind of listening to me and guiding me. So I think that's where I can do a lot of help in the world. And you can reach me, via LinkedIn, Liz Georges. My Facebook business page is Liz Georges FDNP. And I also have a group that I love called Pissed Off Women Finding Peace. And it's a fantastic group for women who are just fed up. Maybe they need to vent. Maybe they're looking for support. Maybe they want to help other pissed off women. It's a great group for a great community of women who are there to support and help each other through our toughest times.
Thank you. So, number one, I love the idea of reaching back out to high schoolers because, again, sometimes they can't talk to parents or they don't want to talk to parents about some of the things that they're going through. And so, having someone who's been there and done that makes it so much easier. So I love that. And then if you case you guys missed it, if you've been a pissed off woman and you need some peace, get with Liz, connect with her so that you can get yourself together and get ready, right? So Liz is the person that you need to reach out to if you have experienced any I don't know if pistivity is the right word, but
I love it. Pistivity, that's a great one. Let's coin it.
And we've all been pissed sometime in our life, I'm sure. I see Tanya says, go Liz, love it.
Thank you, Tanya.
All right, Teresa, your turn.
Well, I also have ideas for more books. I've learned how amazing this is and how easy it is, and I've always loved writing and wanted to be an author, and now I am. So let's go forward. I want to do another anthology. I also have a million other stories that I can tell. So I have this idea for story time for adults instead of for children, like at the library, but story time for adults. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I have a whole bunch of ideas also. I'm also going to continue growing my coaching business, Allo Coaching. So you can find me on Facebook as Teresa O'Neill, on Instagram as Coach Teresa O, and my website is allocoaching.ca.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm loving that all of you are considering writing other books, talking more about your story, because you're going to realize, again, this is just a snapshot, a moment. So there's so much other richness of things that you've done. And so I just love that it's inspired you to tap into who you are and do so many things to help people even further. So that's just straight amazing. Coach Chris, last but not least, sir, what you got going on?
Well, let me start here. First of all, I love you ladies. And I have to say that people that don't know these women they missed out on the journey that they've taken. If you're scared, frightened, and afraid, frustrated, overwhelmed, feel like crying, feel like cussing, feel like fighting, these women have done it, and they sit here in a throne of bassastivity. I'm stealing some stuff from you, Angela. They're sitting up here, badasses, because they just went out there and did it. They jumped off the ledge. And so I have to applaud you ladies, because I've personally spoken to you all individually, shared tears, fought and fight, back and forth, and y'all are badasses, and I'm proud of you. But for me, I have 6 other books I'm going to write. Never really thought about being an author, never liked to read. I always wanted to do. And this has been transformational for me. Speaking is something that I started back when I was at Orange Theory, and now I'm taking that full force. I partnered up with Workforce Partners Management Group to partner up with Caritas and the Workforce Centers to help the homeless and the people that are not stable in their living arrangements. So really putting a foot forward to change the world, because everyone here is looking to leave this world better than when we came into it. And I really want to establish a platform, much like Angela has done here with Matt and her team. I want to take that on and really exponentially take that to the next level, because it's all about making the world better. And God put us here for a reason. And I'm trying to make sure I live up to my promise to live up to my purpose.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you would let everybody know, Coach Chris, how they can connect with you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. On LinkedIn is Life15, LYFE with the 15. Facebook, it's M. Chris Collins. And then on Instagram, Life15.
Yay. So listen, thank you all. The Articles of Life will be out and available for you to download. We're going to push them to not only national bestsellers, but international bestsellers, because we have artists in Canada, and then we have Jillian in Australia. So we are expecting to be, we're expecting Articles of Life to be huge, right? So please make sure y'all stay tuned, because each one will be putting some information out on their pages on the 26th. Matthew Santana, did you have anything else you want to add before we close out the broadcast?
We are good.
Perfect. Elian, I see. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I drop one thing real quickly? So just so you know, on July 26th, I am taking my portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Buda Dayhab, and they actually do work with mothers that have special needs, children or family members. So by investing in yourself, you're going to be investing in a mother that's dealing with a special needs family household. So get the book.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that, Chris. So again, that's letting you know, connect. Not only are you going to be blessing yourself, you're going to be blessing other people, and you're going to be learning some lessons that will take you further in life. To each one of you, I wish you the utmost success in everything. And come on, Ardith, I see you had your finger up.
I just want to say that Teresa is also from Canada. I don't know if that was made clear. So she's also international as well.
Yes, come on. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ardith. So Teresa and Ardith, both of you in Canada. Jillian, I saw you put your finger up. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I forgot to say that I've also created a workshop around my chapter. So if anyone would like to attend a workshop and really get deep into the 7 spiritual steps, please reach out.
Awesome. And look, I'm telling you, just
and this will go towards the vision of creating a kind, loving world where we all reach our full potential. And that's my biggest creation.
Fantastic. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Liz, go ahead and say what you were getting ready to say.
Oh, Jillian, I'm interested in your workshop.
She's amazing.
I'll get in touch with you after this.
Definitely. Thank you.
Anybody else, Carrie? You want to say anything? Everybody else good?
No, Jamie? This is good. Thank you.
Awesome. Listen, if y'all can see, they all have a great time together. So this is the exact reason why you need to tap in. Make sure you download the book when it's available on the 26th. We're going to push them to bestseller status. And I love Elian says, look at that. The publishers do some publishers. So that's amazing. Chris come out here and do some great things with his criticisms and change the world with it. So, hey, whatever you do, say his quote one more time, guys.
Good enough and done is better than perfect and pending.
Boom, there you go. Stop trying to be perfect and pending and get it done, right? Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you. And thanks to the audience for all of the commentary. We appreciate you guys. This has been amazing. I hope you all have a great rest of the night. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Be blessed.
Good night, everyone.
Trying to go end the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank
Good evening, everyone.
We're still here, guys.